Good evening, students. Today, I am going to start a new subject which is called International Business. It is an MBA course, and we will see how the international business is evolved, why international business is needed, what are the motives behind the international business, and why do we need to study this subject. All these things we will learn by reading this subject. So let me just begin this subject in this way that the beverage you drink might be produced in India but with the collaboration of a USA company like Coca-Cola. Okay, the tea you drink is prepared from the tea powder produced in Sri Lanka. The television you watch might have been produced with Japanese technology. Most of you have experience of browsing internet and visiting different websites, purchasing the goods and services without visiting those manufacturing companies. All these activities have become a reality due to the operations and activities of international business only. Thus, international business is the process of linking the global resources with global people. Let us take an example of Samsung Mobile. In India, we have Samsung Mobile in every house. One or two Samsung Mobile is owned by us. So is it an Indian company's product? No. It's Korean company which has produced mobile, Samsung brand. And this Samsung brand's mobile is so popular that even in village you will find Samsung mobile in every household. So let us understand what is the evolution of this international business. The origin of international business goes back to human civilization. Since civilization had many traces of having a trade relationship with the Eastern civilization, later the concept of international business, a broader concept of integration of economies, goes back to 19th century. The first phase was took with the end of the First World War in 1919. The import of raw materials by colonial countries, emperor from colonial and exporting the finished goods again to the colonial country. Now everybody is aware about this import and export business. So uh, let's say uh, prior to 3 decades, only mainly the export and import business were in existence. But after globalization in our country, this global business or international business is very much familiar with everybody. Now we will have to learn about the International Monetary Fund. Then we would also be knowing about. We would have to learn about the FERA. Earlier there was a FEMA Act, Foreign Exchange Monetary Act, but now there it has been replaced by FERA. So why this international business is needed? Because of several reasons. What are the reasons? The reasons might be that large scale of operations. What does it mean by this? In international business, all the operations are conducted on a very large and huge scale. Production and marketing activities are conducted on a very large scale. And it first sell its goods in the local market and then surplus goods is exported. Surplus goods are exported to other countries. So large scale of operations. Then integration of economies. This is another feature. What does it mean by this? International business integrates or combines the economies of many countries. See, if you are having plants in many countries, like let's say take an example of Maruti Suzuki. Maruti is an Indian company and Suzuki is Japanese company. Why did they go for collaboration with that company? Because of technology that they are having, because of skill that they are having, because of other uh, advantageous things that the Japanese may have, which Indians may not have. So this is because the usage of finance also from one country, labor, as we know that Chinese labor are very cheap compared to Indian. In India, we have got union baji. In India, laborers are engaged mainly with union, but in China, for the same work of same hour of work, you need to pay lesser amount as compared to Indian laborers. So cheap labor, then other infrastructures are also there. Then there may be the benefits of participating countries. International business gives benefits to all the participating countries. However, the developed countries get the maximum benefits. Why? Because see, there are, we can divide the world into two categories like developed countries and underdeveloped countries, or we can say the underprivileged countries also. In the developed countries, they may be able to give more tax incentive, or tariffs are such. So, what does it mean by the word tariff? Tariff means basically the taxation rates. If you, in India, if you import any goods, the tariffs are more. Or in India, if you see, Tesla was trying to set up its plant in India. Tesla is a car company which is owned by Elon Musk. Twitter is also owned by him. Now, Twitter is used by everybody, almost everybody in India also. Who is the owner? The owner is Elon Musk. So, what I was trying to convey you, that the benefits that we are getting is in terms of say larger number of customer. If you are the tariff, due to the tariffs, the tariff is decided by the government of a country. So the business policies are more familiar with the international business compared to underprivileged country, or the the developing country. The developed countries are having more familiar policies for the international business. So that is why they are benefited more in the international business. But the developing countries also get some benefits. They get foreign capital and technology. If our country, or the if a country which is underdeveloped and they are less in terms of technology, then they can get the benefit of this international, from the international business. They get rapid industrial development. They get more employment opportunities. Then competition is another thing. See, international business has to face competition in the world market. They do not face competition in the local market. They face competition in the world market. The competition is between unequal partners. In this situation, the developed countries are in favorable position as they produce the superior quality of goods. Because if the quality of goods are not superior, it cannot be exported, and services. But developing countries find difficulty to face competition. Then there is a special role of science and technology. International business gives a lot of importance to science and technology. They spend huge amount of money on science and technology, on research and development. In today's scenario, many medicines that we use are imported from outside, or like in Corona period, the vaccine that was, there were two vaccines. One was Covishield, and another was, I forgot the name, which was invented by our scientists. I just forgot the name of that vaccine. So one country just invented, that medicine, that vaccine, and every other country got the benefit of that thing. International business helps them to transfer top end technology to the developing countries. Then certain restrictions are also there. Under the international restrictions, some restrictions are there. International business faces many restrictions on the inflow and outflow of capital, technology and goods. Many governments do not allow international business to enter their countries. They may block trades. There might be some tariff barriers. Then foreign exchange restrictions are there. And all these are harmful to international business. Then sensitive nature of business. The international business is very sensitive in nature. Any changes in the economic policies, technology, political environment has a huge impact. Let's take an example. Do you think that anybody would be interested for setting up a plant in Afghanistan compared to India if a businessman is given uh, an opportunity to set up a plant in Afghanistan, and one more alternative is there, that is India. So do you think that they would prefer to set up their plant in Afghanistan? No. Why? Because in Afghanistan, Taliban is there, terrorists are there, government's policy is not clear. Okay, people are not supportive. Many regulations are there which are not followed. But in India, the government is stable. Their policies of providing infrastructure is good. Their rules and regulations are strict, but still they are I mean that is familiar for the international, for setting up an international venture or international business. Now, international business need accurate information to make appropriate decision. International business house need not only accurate but also timely information. And international business house segments their market based on geographic market segment. Then, what are the reasons for the emergence of international business? The first one is to achieve higher rate of profits. Why would anybody go for setting up an international business? The basic objective of business firm is to earn profit and profit only. So the domestic market do not promise a higher rate of profits, because firms search for foreign market which hold promise for higher rate of profits, because they are the investors. They have employed their money, and their money has to be multiplied in terms of profits. Thus, the objective of profits affects the and motivates the businessman to expand its operations across the globe to foreign countries, right? Then there is expanding the production capacity. Domestic companies expand their production capacities more than the demand for product in a domestic countries. In such cases, these companies are forced to sell their excessive production in foreign developed market. What does it mean by this? Domestic companies expand their production capacity more than the demand for product in a domestic countries. In India, they Patanjali. What is Patanjali? Patanjali is an Ayurvedic company. So they are producing everything nowadays, from Chawanprash to milk to toothbrush, everything, and they export their product to other countries also, because they have established their market. They have marketed their product in such a way that they say that their products are herbal products. It is very uh, good for health, not injurious to health compared to other products. So that's why. But in India, Many people they do not use Patanjali product compared to other countries. So they produced more than the actual demand in their home country. So that's why they have to search for the market for other countries to sell their products. So expanding the production capacity. Next would be severe competition in home country. The country is oriented towards market economy since 1960s. Experience severe competition from other countries in the home country. The weak companies could not meet the domestic countries started entering the markets for of developing countries. In today's scenario, you would find that many people are there. They are what they do. They import raw materials from China. They go to China. They source the raw material from China. They bring the raw material from China and they process them and they re-export to other countries. So there may be situation that in India, in our country, domestic country, the the prices of raw materials are higher compared to other countries. So this is one of the reasons that they had to explore uh, explore for the purchase of raw material to other countries. Then limited home market. When the size of the home market is limited, either due to the smaller size of the population or due to lower purchasing power of the people or both, the companies internationalize their operations. Then there would be another situation like political stability versus political instability. As I discussed and gave the example of Afghanistan versus India, so in India, political stability is there. Rules and regulations and laws are such that everybody has to abide by it. But in Afghanistan, nobody abides by the rules and regulations. So business firms prefer to enter the politically stable countries and are restrained from locating their business operations in politically unstable countries. In fact, business firms shift the operations from politically unstable countries to the politically stable countries. So I gave one example of Afghanistan versus India. Now let's take an example in our home country also, and then I will relate this example with the international business. See, when Tata was trying to set up its plant in Singur, then Mamta Banerjee was the person who protested against it along with the farmers of that area. Tata had set up a plant in Singur, but after the protest and there was a you know, uh, huge conflict between the local people, Tatas, and Mamta Banerjee was supporting to the farmers who lost their lands. So what happened? And after their strong protest, Tata had to shift their plant from this place, from Bengal, West Bengal to Singur uh, to Gujarat. In Gujarat, Narendra Modi was the chief minister at that point of time. So he took that as an opportunity to set up the plant in he he knew that he knew the importance of setting a plant in Gujarat. It will create a lot of opportunity for the local people, and it will give lot of employment. So and all those things will come into the picture. So there is political stability and political instability. So local people also may be there who are protesting your business. They may not be in favor of your, coming and setting up a business. So they may protest strongly so that you have to relocate to other countries. Like when Tesla was trying to set up a plant, and they are still, I heard that they are still trying to do it. So first of all, they have to get every clearance from the government. They have to set up their business in India according to their laws, and they uh, the Indian government should also provide the company, the Elon Musk's company, all the infrastructure, whatever is needed, then only it can be set up. Now, next point is availability of technology and managerial competency. Availability of advanced technology and competent human resource in some countries acts as pulling factors for business firms from home country. The developed countries, due to these regions, attract companies from developing world. In fact, American and European countries depend on Indian companies for software products and services through their BPOs. In India, our country, India is very ahead, very much ahead in terms of software and technology development. They Indian companies get many and many contracts from outside in terms of this the software and technology development. Okay. The next thing is that uh, their BPO. Many of the works like outsourcing, uh, many European or American companies they have outsourced their BPO business. BPO stands for business process outsourcing. So all those processing work not related to the main business, they have been outsourced to Indian market. Why? Because Indian market in India, it is considered that we have got good English, command over English, fluency is there, words are good, words are good, and vocabulary is good. That's why they are in demand. Let's take an example of China. Many of the software companies like IBM or other companies or other mobile companies, they have set up their every the spare parts plant in China. Why? Because Chinese market in terms of labor is very cheap, raw materials are very cheap. That's why they have set up their plant of manufacturing of spare parts in China. And what do? They only assemble. These company only do the assembling work, and after assembling them, they export. We buy the laptop of IBM. Okay, so but IBM it is an American company, but each and every part is produced and manufactured in China itself, not in America. They have outsourced all those works to the location where, as per their business requirement, it is friendly to them. Now, cost of transportation. Initially, companies enter foreign countries through their marketing operations. At this stage, the company realized the challenge from the domestic companies. Added to this, the home companies enjoy higher rate of profit margin, whereas the foreign firms suffer from lower profit margins. Under such condition, the foreign companies are inclined to increase their profit margin by locating their manufacturing unit in foreign countries where there is enough demand either in one country or in a group of neighboring countries. Then another point is nearness to raw materials. So, what is the meaning of this point? The meaning would be the source of highly qualitative raw materials and bulk raw materials is a major factor for attracting the companies from various foreign countries. Even Tata Steel also they buy many raw materials from outside like coal, like raw steel. They buy it, they source it from other countries and then they process it and then they export those goods to other countries. Like, right. Now, then there is another point is there availability of quality HR at less cost. This is a major fact in recent times for software, high technology, and telecommunication companies to locate their operations in India. India is a major source for high quality and low cost human resources like unlike USA and other developed countries. Now, the next point is liberalization and globalization. So, what does it mean by this liberalization and globalization? Most of the countries in the globe liberalize their economies and open their countries to the rest of the world. So, what they have done, they have opened their country for the rest of the world. These changed policies attracted the multinational companies to extend their operations to these countries to increase market share. If you are doing business in India in Indian level, then your market share will be low compared to the companies which are having production at large scale, which are having demand at large scale, which are exporting or doing business at a larger scale across the globe. Then obviously their profit and market share would be more as compared to your company. Now, to achieve higher rate of economic development, international business helps the governments to achieve higher growth rate of economy, increase the total per capita income, GDP, industrial growth, employment, and income levels also. So, let us take the definition, what the definition says. International business refers to the business activities or transactions carried out beyond the national borders of a company. So, what is international business? International business refers to the business activities or transactions carried out beyond the national borders of the company. It, it is a much wider term comprising of all the commercial transactions taking place between two countries. International business can occur in different modes, which can be exporting. So, what are the modes that can be of the international business? It can be exporting, licensing, contract, manufacturing, foreign assembly, foreign products, joint venturing, and others. I would like to give you one example. I was working in Mumbai in a company called ASA Projects Private Limited. I was the finance manager in that company. That company, they had joint venture with a company in Nigeria, and as we know that Nigeria is underdeveloped company. They do not have that much of technology, advancement of technology. So in Nigeria, the government had allocated one tender to our company, and our company, from the bidding process, won the that contract. What the contract was? The contract was the commissioning of transformers, transformers in Nigeria, in certain parts of Nigeria. Okay, so Abuja is one city in Nigeria. Abuja, in Abuja city, that contract was, I mean, that transformer has to be commissioned, and our company got the bidding, got the contract, got the tender. So what our company was doing, ASA Electro, what they were doing, they were basically sourcing the transformers, control panels, all these stuffs, electrical items from India, from different part of India, from Ranchi, from Delhi, from Gurgaon, from Chhattisgarh, and after sourcing them at a cheaper cost, they were exporting these things to Nigeria to be commissioned in Abuja city. So this is how it is happening. So contract is there, manufacturing is there, then joint venturing is there. So our company was having a joint venture with a local company in Nigeria. Now, for a study of international business or trade, it is necessary to understand the nature and extent of economic interdependence among countries. It is very much necessary to understand the extent of economic interdependence among countries. In today's scenario, one person cannot do all the work. One person cannot be engineer, he cannot be a doctor, he cannot be a chartered accountant at the same time. Okay, so in the same fashion, you for your daily needs and for other requirements and for development and for technology, science and technology, for study purposes also, you need to depend on others. Okay, so a country cannot produce all the things that is required by them or that is consumed by them, so they have to be dependent on other countries. This is what they are saying. Countries depend on each other for a variety of economic transactions, that is transactions and goods and services and capital being a part of the world economy. No country can live in economic isolation. In today's scenario, no country can live in economic isolation or refer to keep out of global economy. No country is self-sufficient in regard to its requirement, nor can it consume all that it produces. No country can consume all the products that it is producing. Similarly, no country can produce all the goods that they require. And one more point that has come into this paragraph is that regarding economic isolation. As you know, that Pakistan has gone into economic isolation. Nobody is interested in setting up any plant in in Pakistan. Why? Because of political instability. In Pakistan, the army runs the government from behind the curtain. Who runs the government? It is the army, not the government. Every after say 1 year or 2 years, the prime minister is jailed. The now people are migrating from Pakistan. Education is very less. Technology is very less. So and and our prime minister has been trying to isolate them economically. So in today's scenario, the war is not won from the gola barud, but it is won from the on the economic front. It is just to isolate the enemy country, economically isolate. Now, no country can live. Acha, that I have discussed. Now, our next point is, in other words, interdependence of countries is reflected in the whole range of international transactions. Therefore, international business is a combination of all commercial transactions, either private or government, between two or more countries. It is the exchange of capital goods and services across the international borders or territories. So, this is the definition that you can write. Now, these transactions are conducted at the global level and across national borders. International businesses are very large in size as they are performed at a global level. Their scale of operations are vast in size. International businesses provide employment to a large number of people. It is served as an important source for earning foreign exchange for the country. If it is said that any country is rich, it means what? Rich, it means that how much the foreign currency that they are having. So, in that parameter, it is considered to be rich. It is not considered to be rich if its foreign currency is very low. All payments in these businesses are done in foreign currencies of different countries. Currently, the two main currencies are there. Number one is dollar, which is mainly considered, and what else? Euro also. Euro and dollar. These businesses help in improving the standard of living of people in different countries by supplying high quality of goods. International business provide employment to a large number of people. It is served as an important source for earning foreign exchange for the country, and all payments in these businesses are done in the foreign uh, exchange in different countries. Now we can understand what trade is. Trades, you can say trade may be of two kinds. Number one is domestic trade, and the second one is the international trade. So under the domestic trade, two parts are there. One is the wholesale, another is the retail. And under the international trade, three things are there. What are they? Number one is import trade. नंबर import trade जो सामान बाहर से मंगवाते हैं, that is import. And the second is export, जो आप सामान बाहर से मंगा करके उसको आपने प्रोसेस किया रॉ मटेरियल को एंड प्रोसेस करके, या आपने बाहर से मंगाया जो आपको जरूरत है उसको आपने प्रोसेस किया, देन यू हैव एक्सपोर्टेड दैट, री एक्सपोर्टेड दैट. So export trade, first one is import trade, then export trade, and then entrepot trade. So what is entrepot trade? It is import of goods and services for re-export to other countries. Now, a definition of domestic business: the business transaction that occurs within the geographical limits of the country is known as domestic business. It is, so the main word is within the geographical territory or within the geographical limits. It is a business entity whose commercial activities are performed within a nation, alternatively known as internal business or sometimes as home trade. The producer, the producer and customers of the firm both reside in the same country, in the country. In a domestic trade, the buyer and seller belong to the same country. And so, the trade agreement is based on the practices, laws, and customs that are followed in the country. Now, there are many privileges which a domestic business enjoys, like low transaction cost, less period between production and sale of goods, that is logistic, low transportation cost, encourage small scale enterprise. Then what are the definition of international business? International business is one whose manufacturing and trade occur beyond the borders of the home country. All the economic activities indulged in cross-border transactions comes under international or external business. It includes all the commercial activities like sales, investment, logistics, etc., in which two or more countries are involved. So, if in a business or in a trade, if two or more countries are involved, it is called international business. The company conducting international business is known as a multinational or transnational company. So in objective type question, if it comes, so what do you mean by multinational company? Or in one liner question it comes, what do you mean by transnational company? So you should write, the company conducting international business is known as a multinational or transnational company. These companies enjoy a large customer base from different countries, and it does not have to depend on a single country for resources. Further, the international business expands the trade and investment amongst countries. Now, there are certain differences between the domestic and international business. So what are the key differences between the domestic and international business? The key difference points would be: number one, the most important difference between domestic and international business are classified as under. Number one is domestic business is defined as the business where economic transactions is conducted within the geographical limits of the country. And international business refers to a business which is not restricted to a single country. That is, business which is engaged in the economic transactions with several countries in the world. The area of operation of domestic business is limited, which is the home country. On the other hand, the area of operation of international business is vast, that is, it serves many countries at the same time. The quality standards of products and services provided by a domestic business is relatively low. If you want to export anything to outside your country, then the quality of the goods must be of quality of goods or services must be of export quality. Then only the people will buy your product. So the quality of and conversely the quality and standards of international business are very high, which are set according to global standards. Domestic business deals in the currency of the country in which it operates. On the other hand, the international business deals in the multiple currencies. Domestic business requires comparatively less capital investment as compared to international business. Domestic business has a few restrictions as it is subject to rules, law, taxation of a single country. As against this, international business is subject to rules, law, taxation, tariffs, and quotas of many countries, and therefore it has to face many restrictions which are barriers in the international business. The nature of customers of a domestic business is more or less the same, unlike in international business, wherein the nature of customers of every country it serves is different. Then business research can be conducted easily in domestic business. As against this, in this case, in the case of international business, international research, it is very difficult to conduct business research as it is expensive and the research reliability varies from country to country. In domestic business, factors of productions are mobile. In international business, the mobility of factors of production are restricted. Mobile means मतलब कि जल्दी किसी चीज पर किसी चीज तक पहुंचना, that is mobile. But in case of international business, we cannot reach. We cannot. In case of international business, the mobility of factors of productions are restricted. Then international business refers to those business activities take place. See, there are certain people that they have defined. International business consists of transactions that are devised, and this is according to Michael R. Sinjkota. So Michael R. Sinjkota, what has he given the definition? The definition given by him is international business consists of transactions that are devised and carried out across national borders to satisfy the objectives of the individuals, companies, and organizations. These transactions take on various forms which are often interrelated. Then there is another person named as Roger Bennett. So, what is the definition of international business given by Roger Bennett? International business involves commercial activities that cross national frontiers. Thus, it involves not only international movement of goods and services but also of capital, personal, technology, and intellectual property like patents, trademarks, know-how, and copyrights. It is a business which takes. What do you mean by know-how? Know-how is basically technical know-how. If you have expertise of anything, that is considered as a technical know-how or know-how. Okay, so that is what it means. It is a business which takes place outside the boundaries of a country, that is between two countries. It includes The international movements of goods and services, capital across the border. It refers to the purchase and sale of goods and services beyond the geographical limits of the country. Then features I have already discussed. Now, importance of international business. So, what are the importance? The importance are: number one, earn foreign exchange; number two, optimum utilization of resources; number three, achieve its objectives; number four is to spread business risks; number five would be improve organization efficiency; number six would be to get benefits from government; number seven would be expand and diversity; number eight would be increase competitive capacity. So what is foreign? So these are basically what I am discussing, the importance of international business. So what is our point number one? Our point number one is earn foreign exchange. International business exports its goods and services to all over the world. This helps to earn valuable foreign exchange. This foreign exchange is used to pay for imports. Foreign exchange helps to make the business more profitable and to strengthen the economy of its country. Our next point is optimum utilization of resources. So what does it mean by this? Optimum utilization मतलब maximum utilize कैसे कर सकते हैं? International business makes optimum utilization of resources. This is because it produces goods on a very large scale for international market. International business utilizes resources from all over the world. It uses the finance and technology of rich countries and the raw materials and labor of the poor countries. So how it happens? It is using the science and technology and finance of rich countries, of developed countries, and the raw material, like the countries which are very rich in terms of raw material. So raw material and labor, they are cheap, so that of the poor country or underdeveloped country are used. The next point is achieve its objectives. International business achieve its objectives easily and quickly. The main objective of international business is to earn higher profits. The objective is achieved easily. This is because it uses the best technology. In today's scenario, if you are very poor in terms of technology, you are thrown out of the world. You cannot reach anywhere. So everywhere the technology is required, the technology is used everywhere. If you are not technology driven, if your business is not technology driven, you cannot go anywhere. So this is what they are saying. It has the best employees and managers. It produces high quality goods. Salary scales are also very high in MNCs. They pay very good salary. I mean, much higher salary compared to domestic businesses. That's why they are able to they are able to hire, and they are able to attract very good talented people, very skilled people from the market, and they also retain for the reason that they are getting lucrative packages, lucrative salaries and allowances. Now, this results in the high profits for the international business. To spread business risk, international business spreads its business risk. This is because it does business all over the world. So, a loss in one country. Now, how it works? How the business risk is spread out? See, it is doing business in many countries. So, the loss of one country may be compensated with the profits of other countries. ठीक है? Profit of another company. The surplus goods in one country, if in one country they have produced more goods and it is not consumed, then that goods can be exported to other countries where consumers are more. So it can be exported. So and the surplus resources can also be transferred to other countries. So all this helps to minimize the business risk. Then improve organization's efficiency. International business has a very high organizational efficiency. This is because without efficiency, they will not be able to face the competition in the international market. So they use all the modern management techniques to improve their efficiency. What they use? They use all the modern technology and management techniques to improve their efficiency level. They hire the most qualified and experienced employees and managers. These people are trained regularly. They are highly motivated and with a very high salaries and other benefits such as international transfers, internationally promotions, etc. All these results in high organizational efficiency, that is low cost and high returns. Then they also get the benefits from the government. International business brings a lot of foreign exchange for the country. Therefore, it gets many benefits and facilities and concessions from the government. It also gets many financial and tax benefits from the government. Then expand and diversity. International business can expand and diversify its activities. This is because it earns very high profits. It also gets financial help from the government. Now, increase competitive capacity. What does it mean by this? Competitive capacity. International business produces high quality of goods at a lower cost. It spends a lot of money on advertising all over the world. What they do? What do they do? They advertises all over the world. So their products are in demand in all over the world. It uses superior technology. What do they use? Superior technology, superior quality, superior uh, management, skilled people, superior in terms of raw materials. Their marketing strategy is superior. Their selling strategy is very much superior because they pay a very good, handsome salary to the employees. So they are being able to attract talented workforce. All this makes it more competitive. So it can fight competition from foreign companies. Then next comes economies of scale. What does it mean by this economies of scale? Economies of scale, let me explain. These businesses are able to enjoy economy of scale due to their large scale of production. They produce, I mean, they do not produce a very shorter amount. They produce uh, large in quantity in terms of production. So international business reduce large amount of goods for selling in different countries. अगर आप ज़्यादा अमाउंट में प्रोड्यूस करते हैं कोई गुड्स तो आपका कॉस्टिंग कम हो जाता है. वहीं अगर आप कम यूनिट में प्रोड्यूस करते हैं तो आपका कॉस्टिंग क्या हो जाता है? ज़्यादा हो जाता है. So what do? They produce larger quantity of goods. So their costing part is also minimized. So in that way, they are being able to use the economies of scale and produce large amount of goods for selling in different countries. With the increase in amount of production, per unit cost of producing goods goes down. That's what I have explained to you, that the per unit cost of producing goods goes down, which helps them in earning large amount of profits. अगर आपका प्रॉफिट बढ़ाने का दो तरीका है. पहला तरीका ये है सेलिंग मोर एंड मोर गुड्स, नंबर वन, और cutting your cost, not cutting but reducing your cost. But if you are not able to sell more and more products, then you have to reduce your per unit cost. So since you are producing more and more units, more number of units, larger amount of unit, larger number of units, so your production per unit goes down, and in that way you are able to make or earn more profits. Then there is one more thing, that is cost advantage is there. So what does it mean by this? International business takes cost advantage over its competitors by producing goods in one country and exporting them in another country. So, क्या होता है, एक कंट्री में गुड्स को प्रोड्यूस किया जाता है और दूसरे कंट्री में एक्सपोर्ट किया जाता है. सो इस तरह से इसमें कॉस्ट एडवांटेज है. कॉस्ट एडवांटेज कैसे है कि अगर आप चाइना में कुछ कोई गुड्स को प्रोड्यूस करते हैं तो इन चाइना द लेबर कॉस्ट इज वेरी चीप. 8 घंटा काम कराने के लिए चाइना में जो आपको लेबर को पे करना होगा वो इंडिया में 8 घंटा काम कराने के लिए ज्यादा आपको पे करना होगा. सो लेबर कॉस्ट इज ऑलरेडी रिड्यूस्ड. नंबर वन. नंबर टू, चाइना में रॉ मटेरियल का कॉस्ट भी सस्ता है जबकि इंडिया में रॉ मटेरियल का कॉस्ट भी ज्यादा है. नंबर तीन क्या है, इंडिया में यूनियन बाजी बहुत ज्यादा है, स्ट्राइक करते हैं या यूनियन बाजी है. लेकिन चाइनीज पीपुल दे टेक द मनी, दे टेक द सैलरी, दे टेक द वेजेस एंड दे विल गिव यू द आउटपुट. यहाँ पे और क्या है, यहाँ के लोग थोड़े से कंपेयर टू देम आलसी होते हैं बट दे आर नॉट. So these are the advantages that we are having for the international business purposes. Now they carry on their production in a country where factors of productions are easily and cheaply available. Easily and cheaply available. This helps in minimizing the cost of product and earn huge profits by selling them at better prices in other countries. Next point is provide employment opportunities. And this is also our last point of the topic. So what was the topic? The topic was importance of international business. And what is the last point? The last paragraph or point is provide employment opportunities. International business employs large number of people for carrying out its operations across the globe. They perform large-scale operations in many countries for which they require large amount of human resources. So, आपका लार्ज स्केल पे बिजनेस हो रहा है, लार्ज स्केल पे प्रोडक्शन हो रहा है, तो लार्ज स्केल पे एम्प्लॉय भी जरूरत पड़ेगा. और उस हिसाब से लोगों को जिस कंट्री में बिजनेस सेटअप है वहां के लोकल लोगों को भी काम मिलेगा, लोकल लेबर लोगों को काम मिलेगा, लोकल वेंडर्स को काम मिलेगा, क्योंकि कंपनी सारा काम अपने से नहीं कर सकती है, अपने वर्क फोर्स से. तो ऐसे लोकल जो लोग हैं उनको काम मिलेगा, रोजगार मिलेगा, एम्प्लॉयमेंट बढ़ेगा और भी अपॉर्चुनिटी आएगा, बहुत सारा चीज आएगा उससे. सो दिस इज व्हाट provide employment opportunities. So with this importance of international business, we are going to end today's session, and in next class we will be seeing some other topic related to our international business. Thank you.